Brilliant. Thank you so much. And yeah, as Aaron said, this book almost didn't really happen. So I'm just so grateful that found Marie. I mean, that's just so awesome, because I've always said for the longest number of years that I wouldn't be able to translate myself, to be honest. I just give up because I get so frustrated wanting to create a whole new poem, and it just doesn't happen. So it's good to have somebody else.
It would have been a shame.
Yeah, oh, thank you. I thought I'd just say a very quick thing about Plogoff before we read, just so that you know a bit the context of the book. But it's basically an event that happened in the late 70s, early 80s, not far from where I live, in a town called Plogoff, which is mostly populated with women because their husbands go off sailing, fishing for months on end, children and retired folk. And basically the French government at the time thought that they would install a nuclear station there. And this is a really gorgeous but rough part of the world. It's like cliffs, there's the sea, it's kind of like places where all the ships get shipwrecked, essentially. So there's a lot of wind and a lot of very steep cliffs. And anyway, this village decided to say no in quite creative ways a lot of the time, but also they did barricades for like weeks. They threw stones, they pulled pranks, as one of the poems I'll read goes into, and they won. There was no nuclear station, so hooray for them. Anyway, I kind of panicked when I had to choose some poems, so it's a weird assortment that you're doing tonight, but I'll start with How Did It Start, and then Marie, you take it away in French and we'll go from there. How did it start? The coast. An umbilical cord of closed Marys and stretches of unshaved chins open to the sky. The coast had seen sickness invading before. Boats ruptured far away, off the coast of Cornwall, of England. The coast viewed from above is a flat surface, under which hide furious notes. The coast is a rotary dial, and it has been calling. The coast draws itself closer every day. It's had a good haul. The sheep. The site picked for the nuclear site is being controlled by sheep now. Literal sheep, not poetry sheep. The sheep. The sheep are on trial today, though the court didn't invite them to defend themselves. The occupation. Decades after the Nazis, a new force fills the same buildings, stuffing the courtyards of the seminaries with their vans. The occupation. The police come to find posters declaring the start of the survey. They find none in Plogoff, in Goulian, in Clédin, in Primelin, so they return, plaster them, take a picture as proof, then vanish. The posters do not last long on the wall. The occupation. A helicopter frightens the birds away. We call her Mère Poule, Mother Hen. She covets her riot cops. The crepe. Everyone has their trick, but the common method is to scoop the mixture with a ladle, place it on a buttered bilig, and rake it into a circle with a roselle. The crepe. When the time is right, take your spatula and slide it onto the lace, holding your crepe over it like a train. Carefully lay it on its other side, ready to receive. The crepe. The first few times you try to make a crepe, you will either make holes or fail to spread the crepe fast enough so that it bottles at one end, slower to cook. Backstage. It's the eve. The French flag at half-mast, the Grenadier hoisted. The folders of the survey burnt by the four mayors. A white night is coming as the shadows creep up. The first barricades are sown.
Doing the translation now?
Go for
Okay,
it.
let's go. Comment cela a-t-il commencé? La côte. Un cordon ombilical de mairie fermée et une étendue de menton mal rasé tournée vers le ciel. La côte a déjà vu la maladie envahir, des bateaux se rompre au loin, au large des Cornouailles en Angleterre. La côte vue d'en haut est une surface plane, sous laquelle se cachent de furieuses notes. La côte est un cadran téléphonique et elle ne cesse d'appeler. La côte se rapproche chaque jour. Elle a fait bonne pêche. Les moutons. Le site choisi pour la centrale nucléaire est à présent contrôlé par des moutons. Des moutons littéralement. Ce n'est pas une métaphore. Les moutons. Les moutons sont jugés aujourd'hui. bien que le tribunal ne les ait pas invités pour se défendre. L'occupation. Des années après les nazis, une nouvelle force s'installe dans les mêmes bâtiments, remplissant les cours de séminaires avec leurs fourgons. L'occupation. La police vient chercher les affiches déclarant le début de l'enquête. Ils n'en trouvent pas, à Plogoff, à Goulien, à Cléden, à Primelin. Alors ils reviennent, ils les placardent, ils prennent une photo comme preuve puis disparaissent. Les affiches ne tiennent pas longtemps sur les murs. L'occupation. Un hélicoptère effraie les oiseaux. On l'appelle mère poule. Elle convoite ses précieux CRS. La crêpe. Chacun a sa technique, mais la méthode la plus populaire est de prendre une louchée de pâte à crêpes, de la verser sur un bilic beurré, puis ensuite l'étaler en cercle avec un roselle. La crêpe. Le moment venu, prenez votre spatule et glissez-la sous la dentelle délicate, soulevant ainsi votre crêpe à la manière d'une traîne. Déposez-la enfin soigneusement sur son autre côté, prête à recevoir. La crêpe. Les premières fois que vous essayerez de faire une crêpe, elle sera sûrement trouée et inégale. Vous ne parviendrez pas à étaler la crêpe assez rapidement, ce qui aura pour résultat une crêpe plus épaisse d'un côté, plus lente à cuire. Dans les coulisses, c'est la veillée. Le drapeau français en berne, le Gwenadu hissé. Les dossiers de l'enquête, brûlés par les 4 mers. Une nuit blanche se profile alors, que les ombres s'avancent. Les premières barricades se lèvent.
So cool. Thank you. Okay, so this next poem is the title poem. So as I mentioned, there were quite a few pranks sometimes done. And one of the things that they did was some of the women would basically wee in Tupperware and pretend that it was like explosives and sort of put them in different fields and so forth. And so the police would waste a lot of time not only collecting what they thought might be, you know, bombs or might be explosives and analyzing them in laboratories, and everybody else had a good time with that. So this poem is kind of about that. And as I mentioned, the reason why there's the whole mass thing is that they called them the barricades, the 5 o'clock mass. So, you know, you have to go and pray. Our Lady of Tyres. Oh, you've go back. So we call our barricades the 5 o'clock mass. And let me tell you, we've never been so fucking pious. Our church is made of old cars and swearing. Our bones are tired, but keep on giving. Your mother hen, who hovers above us, may thunder fry her brains. That's what we call your helicopter, that drunk wasp who dives down on pensioners going to the market. Her grenades come, her chicks have guns, in our earth, as it is, your hell. We fill your path with excrement. We fill our boxes with piss and label them explosives. Sew diapers in the gardens for you to collect. Give us this day our daily hail. We fill your labs with our stormy discharges and pollock your clothes with paint. Our homes are an endless supply of horror. Grandma's plates, the ones with the rabbit, have been redecorated to look like landmines. We send our kids out with colanders on their heads, a wooden spoon in hand, and forgive you your trespasses. We live at the edge of the earth. We've seen it at its worst, shedding ships open like chestnuts, and you want to fuck with it? Send us your worst fungus-faced soldiers. The sea always wins, child.
Notre-Dame des pneus. Nous appelons nos barricades la messe de 5 heures. Et je peux vous dire que nous n'avons jamais été aussi pieux. Notre église est faite de carcasses de voitures et de vulgarité. Nos os sont usés, mais ne s'arrêtent pas. Votre mère poule qui est aux cieux, que la foudre lui grille la cervelle. C'est comme ça que l'on appelle votre hélicoptère. Cette guêpe ivre qui s'acharne sur les retraités se rendant au marché. Que vos grenades viennent, s'épousser en des 9 mm, sur nos terres comme dans votre enfer. Nous couvrons vos chemins d'excréments. Nous remplissons nos cartons de pisse et les marquons comme explosifs. Parsemons les jardins de couches usagées pour que vous les récupériez. Donnez-nous aujourd'hui notre salut quotidien. Nous remplissons vos labos de nos décharges orageuses et souillons vos vêtements de peinture à la manière d'un mauvais Pollock. Nos foyers sont des réserves inépuisables d'horreur. Les assiettes de grand-mère, celles avec le lapin, ont été redécorées pour ressembler à des mines antipersonnelles. Nous envoyons nos enfants avec des passoires sur la tête, une cuillère en bois à la main. Et vous pardonnons vos offenses. Nous vivons au bord de la terre. Nous l'avons vu au plus mal. Briser les navires en deux comme des noix. Et vous voulez jouer avec ça? Envoyez-nous vos plus redoutables soldats, au visage fongique et décomposé. La mer gagne toujours, gamin.
Okay, so this last poem is a slightly different register. Mostly included it because Marie did request some more depressing poems in the selection. So
I love sad stuff, man.
This was actually in a previous pamphlet of mine called Brain Fugue, where I had a bunch of brain-related ones, all about my depression. Woo. So enjoy. Escape, delete, uninstall. My brain's installed a decoder that translates everything told to me into, I wish you were dead. Pass the butter. What time is your train? I can't make it tonight. All mean, I wish you were dead. When my sister asks me to drive her children, she wishes I were dead. When my mother asks me to make her phone work, she wishes I were dead. The person at the post office stopped smiling briefly as she tapped on the till. She too wishes I were dead. I do not wish to be dead, but peer pressure is a bitch. I throw my hands into the static to find the real, the what, the tape. I twist the neck of the make, the butter phrase book, phase a right hook. Nope. Some glimmer that looks like truth is there. Shape-shifting from hate to love and back again.
Échappe, sucre, désinstallé. Mon cerveau a installé un décodeur qui traduit tout ce qu'on me dit en « j'aimerais que tu sois morte ». Passe-moi le beurre. À quelle heure est ton train? Je peux pas venir ce soir. Tout devient « j'aimerais que tu sois morte ». Quand ma sœur me demande de ramener ses enfants, elle aimerait que je sois morte. Quand ma mère me demande de faire marcher son téléphone, elle aimerait que je sois morte. La personne à la poste a brièvement arrêté de sourire pendant qu'elle tapait à la caisse. Elle aussi aimerait que je sois morte. Je ne veux pas mourir, mais la présence sociale est une saloperie. Je plonge mes mains dans la statique pour trouver le vrai, le quoi, le ruban. Je tords le cou de cette création, les glissantes phrases. Vivre une phase, je cogne, non. Ah, une lueur qui semble être la vérité est là, se changeant de la haine à l'amour et vice-versa.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you.